the Woodpreneur Podcast, where sawmill owners and lumber entrepreneurs grow their businesses. Every week, real stories from the timber industry, whether you're starting small or running a big operation. Subscribe for real stories and insights from the industry. Hello, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Woodpreneur Podcast. Today on the podcast, with a background in forestry, wildlife, teaching, science, and entrepreneurial projects, and co-founder of AncesTREE, but most importantly, my friend, Julie Stelman. And we're going to be talking about how Julie transitioned from all of that into, well, except my friend, she's still my friend, into a sawmill tech company, and more about organizing logs and lumber within an inventory management system. So help me welcome Julie Stelman.
Hi.
Thanks. So Julie, before AncesTREE, and I told a little bit about some of your history, tell us about your background. What did you do professionally before AncesTREE?
Well, straight out of college, I worked for the Forest Service. I was a wildlife technician, and what we did there was a lot of habitat restoration and protection. So a lot of that involved the forest and trees and learning about trees and environmental protection there. And then I went on to be a high school science teacher for 10 years, and now I'm here.
Now you're here. All right. Yeah, I remember when I first met you, you were super excited because you're like, oh, I know what DBH means. I use that before. All my little buzzwords, and most people, we have to spell them out, but you knew what it was.
I knew that one. I've learned a lot of acronyms in the wood industry since then.
Yes, you have. So tell the story about how we first met, how we first met and the chaos that was Far West.
Okay. Well, we met at the Auburn Home Show, and I believe it was 2017 or 2018. I can't recall exactly when, but there was you and Alyssa, your daughter, in this cute little log cabin, and I love log cabins. It's my dream home, and I had to go over and check it out. But when I went over there, you guys were talking about urban wood, and I had no idea what that was, and saving wood from the waste stream and carbon sequestration, and the science nerd in me was totally into that, and I thought it was super cool. Plus, you guys were super cool. I thought we had an instant connection.
Yeah. Well, we thought so as well. Now, shortly after that, you kind of saw the chaos that was Far West, but you also didn't just see chaos, you saw opportunity. Tell, in your words, what did you see?
Well, I remember my first visit, I saw a lot of wood, lots and lots of wood, lots of opportunity, beautiful slabs, logs. And I saw that, Jennifer, that you knew where everything was and the story behind everything. And I remember you were also frustrated with, you were the only one that knew that. And sometimes it was difficult for other people working there to find stuff, or they always had to come to you.
And sometimes, and don't tell anybody, but sometimes I forgot.
Yes, I remember seeing your inventory on a sheet of, I think it was graph paper, handwritten in certain color, like red, to cross off when something was sold and where it was. And I know that creating some way to organize that was crucial for you.
Yeah, we had the old graph paper, we had the handwritten stuff out in the field. They would handwrite that, and then we would input it into a system. And later we got tablets where it went right in there. I think you saw some of the old ones. Later we had an Access database.
Mm-hmm.
We had spray paint. We had all the things. But yeah, we would cross things off and then go cross them off in the computer. It was a lot of duplication. And guess what happens with duplication?
Yeah.
Human error. Not only is the time, but just the risk of human error is so bad. So that was your first impression of inventory at Far West.
Right.
So what happened next? Like how did you go from that to where we are now?
Well, I remember we met for lunch at a little Mexican restaurant, and you had talked about your dream of helping other sawmills too. You wanted to help, you were trying to find an inventory management system, basically, specifically for your type of industry, and that it would help so many other people, not just for you. So I remember having that conversation. You were talking about getting everyone networked together so that everyone could do this together. And right away that we could build something together, create an inventory management process, an inventory management system that also fed into a network for helping your business and other businesses to sell more wood, to get more people to understand what it was, just to do an education and marketing and selling of the product. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember I met you and I can't even remember what we were talking about working on. Like we knew that we wanted to work together,
yeah,
but and I don't remember what direction exactly we were going on that. I think it was more the networking and pulling that together. And then alongside of that, I told you my frustration, and you saw my frustration with the inventory stuff. And I had mentioned that I was trying to find someone who could build that or buy some other, or not buy, but subscribe to some other app or something that was out there. And I couldn't find anything. And that was
right.
when you said,
Well, there was one, I think you said that someone was going to build, it cost an extraordinary amount of money and then it would be theirs. And you
right.
said, well, if they can build it, why can't we build it and share it and make it something other people can use as well?
Well, I think that was mostly your part. I knew I didn't want to pay them, but I really didn't think I could build it. But you had other thoughts, and I appreciate that because now we have this amazing, amazing system. And that just reminds me, everybody has ideas. We all at any given time will have these ideas of, oh my gosh, if we had blah 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 blah, we would be able to fix X in our business.
Right.
What was different here is, and I'll be honest, if you weren't there, I would have never done it. I would have never moved the needle. I just would have kept thinking about it. And I wouldn't have thought I could do it. But you said, yes, we can. And so, how did we move from an idea to actually building a real system?
Well, a lot of hours. I remember I had a lot to learn about the industry. So I spent time at Far West. I got fully immersed. I spent a lot of time at Far West. I spent a lot of time learning, like I said, a ton of different acronyms that for you just for like everyday language. I'm like, wait, stop. What does that mean? But we spent a lot of time writing out an outline. What do we want this to do? And so I had to learn a lot from you. And so it was led in that industry wise by you, but then we would just go from there, come up with ideas. And so we started with, I remember it was a 2 to 3 page outline that turned into a
I've been real little wage.
elaborate, detailed blueprint, basically, of what we wanted this. We eventually came to decide an app to do. And I remember talking to different engineers. And when we finally met one, we went down to see him and we explained it. He looked at us like, yeah, no problem. And showed us a couple apps that he had already developed for other people. I remember one was in the ag industry, collecting data, collecting location, something, things similar but different to what we wanted. And when I saw that like working, it was a very emotional, wow, we can do this moment. So yeah.
It was absolutely. You got so immersed into learning the industry that you were answering customer questions, you were answering customer calls, you were helping customers out Far West so that you could better learn what the problems the customers were facing, what the problems we as a company were facing, where those pitfalls were. And how do you see that helped frame what Ancestry, what the inventory management system is now?
Well, understanding the process of measuring out a piece of wood, calculating the board footage, didn't like that. So I knew we wanted to automate that because, wow, that's a lot of work. And, if you don't have it stored in a certain place, I watched people calculate board footage over and over and over again on the same item. So I knew that was something that we needed to automate in our system, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Big, huge time saver.
Yeah, and if you put the dimensions in now, it'll automate in log and lumber form. And it calculates it all for you. It's a huge time saver.
And a lot of it is also the carbon. How much carbon is stored in that piece of wood is also automatically calculated, which goes back to what I thought was the coolest thing to start with.
There's that science nerd again. Cool. So you took it we took it to an engineer, started writing it or started getting things ready, but we needed something in between. So I give you information, you're learning, you're taking that data, what's happening next.
We're trying to interpret it so the engineer can understand what we mean, what we need. So that's where our project manager came in play, because he speaks engineer.
Yes, and that's Andrew Bragg, amazing project engineer. We couldn't live without him. He's amazing. So yeah, he speaks. Julie speaks a little bit of nerd, and he speaks extreme nerd. That's my non-programming, non-sciencey mind.
We can speak. You and I can speak detailed very well.
Yes. So AncesTREE, the name AncesTREE, and for those of you listening without the video, AncesTREE is ANCES, capital T, capital R, capital E, capital E. So AncesTREE. So tell me about how you came up with that name. Like where did that come from?
It comes from one of the most important parts of this wood is knowing the story behind it, the history. Where did it come from? Why was a tree removed? Who removed it? All that historical or story behind it, because some of them have pretty cool stories. So I was thinking about, the history of the wood or the ancestry of the wood. And I went, AncesTREE. So just like ancestry, it's the ancestry of the tree. So AncesTREE. And I remember we were meeting at a coffee shop to have a meeting and just trying to figure out a name that would work. And we had thrown around a couple different things, but that one just came. And
yeah, you threw that one out, and I'm like, that's it. Oh, goodness, that's it. That is absolutely perfect. It defines it all, because so much ancestry works for traditional wood, it works for orchard, it works for everything. But it really started based upon my business, Far West, and our needs, and we needed to tell that story. We needed to tell that ancestry of the urban wood that we were processing, and so it was absolutely spot on.
Right, because we knew we wanted to tell, like, if we had a slab, sister slabs or siblings, and the parents, where the log came from. So it's the family tree.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of ancestry, is it tells that parent-child relationship. It keeps track of that in the inventory system. So it's really kind of cool. So was building ancestry all sunshine and roses, or were there any obstacles along the way?
Perfectly smooth sailing.
Absolutely.
There was a lot of obstacles. I mean, there's financial obstacles. It's always a challenge. We had life challenges that hit us in the middle of building all this. And
you lost your mom. I lost my brother. It set us back,
just within a couple months of each other and within a couple months of starting. So
right. Yeah, it was my brother was a business partner, and like it was a struggle. And then losing your mom, oh my gosh. Like I thankfully have not had to experience that one. So yeah, so navigating those setbacks, how did you do it? What made you want to stick with it and not abandon it?
It's such a cool project. It's such an I don't know, cool project. I mean, it's going to impact a lot of people. It's going to make things easier for people. Part of that, in those losses, you realize how important family is. And I know that a lot of people who are passionate about what they do, including myself, and I do this sometimes, I get so deep into what I'm doing that everything else falls to the wayside, including family. And so going through losses like that, I think I learned, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to spend my whole life working and not being with those people that I love. And I think that in the sawmill business, a lot of people are super passionate about it and they love doing it, and they get so into what they're doing that sometimes that family time, what they started a sawmill business for, was to spend time with their family, can fall to the wayside. And I think that AncesTREE can really help people recover some of that time, because it simplifies the process. It's efficient, it's easy to use, and it's not as scary as people think. It's actually, once you start using it, it's like, oh, that's not difficult at all, and it really saves time. So I think that's what's helped me stick to it, though, is because I knew I could help people.
Right. Yeah. That's so true. And what are some of the ways that they're saving time or saving rework that you're so
Well, knowing where products are, right?
Yeah.
Not selling the same piece of wood twice because you didn't know you already sold it,
right?
which is stories from or West.
Yeah, that one I feel that one deeply.
But it makes the whole process more efficient. Everything's in one place. It's not on different sheets here and there. It's mobile, so you can take it in the field. You can use it on, on your phone. You can use it on the computer in the office, and it translates one to the other. You don't have to download anything from the mobile. It's all right there.
Right, yeah. So you saw Far West pre-Ancestry. You saw Far West post-Ancestry. What do you
It's very
difference?
it's just a smoother process altogether. And the other thing too is everybody has access to that information in your
Right.
business. You don't have to go running to find Jennifer because you have it right there at your fingertips.
Yes.
So
You
that's
know what I love about it? I can go on vacation
I know.
and it's already everything's there. They have everything they need. It is
Right.
the most glorious thing.
And I think it will do that. Well, I know it'll do that for other people too, and it has.
Oh, it
Subscribers are
I mean,
appreciating that.
you haven't been as close to some of the other users, but you've seen some before and after with many of the other Ancestry users as well. And
Right.
oh my goodness, it's just night and day, and better sales processes. Oh my
Right.
goodness, it's truly night and day.
And you can actually sell something without even being there.
I can. Tell me about that. Tell me about the marketplace.
So the marketplace is a multi-vendor marketplace. It's kind of like an Amazon for wood specifically. And again, started with urban and local woods, and which is also
Amazon. Amazon for woods. Explain that.
So
And
it's
so
multiple sawmills, multiple vendors or sawmills can push their products onto that marketplace. It's online, it's digital. So a consumer can go there and look for, a specific type of wood or specific amount of board footage or dimensions or cut. And it's all searchable by those things too. And then they can purchase from more than one sawmill in one cart. So you can purchase from 3, 4, 2, whatever different vendors or sawmills in one cart and have that all paid for in one cart. And it just simplifies it for the consumer, which also helps the sawmills individually to get more sales as well.
Right, more sales. And I know one of the things that we struggled with before we had Ancestry is we had a WooCommerce and a shop, and we had a couple different options for e-commerce previously, but that's where we ran into the selling something. When we sold it there, it didn't come out of our Access database or our spreadsheet or regardless. It just didn't. Somebody had to manually go take it out of those because they didn't talk.
Right. So these talk. They interlinked together.
Yeah.
So that's
It's
awesome.
A beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The marketplace is becoming more beautiful. Speaking of a beautiful thing.
That's true. It's not beautiful now. We'll be real honest. It's not beautiful now, but it's very functional.
Right.
But that's changing soon.
Yep. We're giving it a makeover.
Yes. So it's going to be beautiful as well as functional. But I mean, honestly, Amazon's not that beautiful, and it wasn't back when it started. It really
We're in that bookstore.
Yes. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're going. So some of the things we're working on with Ancestry now, well, we know that giving a new facelift to Ancestry Marketplace is one of them. What are some other projects that Ancestry's working on?
We're working with Watershed Research and Teaching Project or Teaching, Learning. I always get that acronym wrong. We're working to work with municipalities to help with their carbon emissions, decreasing that by utilizing this type of wood, local, urban, even traditional wood, but keeping it out of the waste stream. And I'm forgetting one.
Sawmill partner networks, increasing those, aggregate inventories. Yeah.
Right.
And so many different things, just helping with the municipalities' carbon goals, helping with sawmill partner networks aggregate their inventories. There's just so much potential. Even if people aren't interested in aggregating or interested in selling online. Oh my gosh, before we were able to start selling online, we were using Ancestry for over a year,
Mhm.
even without it being online, night and day.
Right.
In the way that we were able to run our business. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, I am forever grateful to you, Julie, for pushing me, giving me that push and saying, yes, we can do this.
Yeah, it's
For your entrepreneurial spirit and for believing in that our chaos at Far West and the chaos that all these other sawmill businesses could actually turn into control. And you believed in that, and we're forever thankful. So, what advice do you have for these sawmill companies that are out there who haven't moved yet and just keep saying, "I don't have time, I don't have time," and keep hesitating to adopt these new systems? What do you say to them?
I would say just give it a try. It will totally change the way your business runs. It's going to give you time. It's going to give you more energy. It's going to help you sell. So you're going to save time. You're going to save money. You're not going to be redoing things. Like I said, I saw board footage being calculated over and over and over by hand on a calculator. This is saves you just right there. It's worth it.
Right. I would challenge anyone listening in any business that you're in, but especially the sawmill businesses. Count up how many times you do rework on the same type of thing.
Right.
I think your mind will be blown. And you add that time up and you just knock out a week. Gosh, you'll save so much time. But say they just can't carve out a week. They just don't have time. What are some other options?
Well, we have a team who can come out and help you figure that out. We'll help you get organized, get set up so that you can see and learn real quick and easy how to get this rolling in your business.
And what do you say for people who just feel like they can't learn technology?
So
Give it to them and make them do it on
we
their own.
we yeah, well, we kept that in mind from the beginning. We wanted this to be easy. We wanted your dad to be able to use it. So we wanted it to be easy to use and almost fun. So it's a fun way to get your information in there. It's not difficult.
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, Julie, if somebody wants to reach out to you, they want to connect with you, how would they email you?
They can email me at julie@ancestree.org. It's ANCESTREE.org.
That's right. And website, if they want to sign up for Ancestry, if they want to find out more about it, where would they go?
That's ancestry.io.
Yep. And spelled the same way.
Spelled the same way.
Well, thank you so much, Julie. Once again, thanks for pushing me to continue to put this out there, changed the landscape of Far West, changed our outlook, and so many other businesses out there who are using it, and so many other businesses that I know are chomping at the bit to get started. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your story on the behind the scenes creative genius ancestry.
Thank you, Jennifer.